This is Mariel to her countrymen. On racism.
Friends, partway through producing this series, I realized that the book cover on the shelf behind me depicts not an abstract shape, but the hand sign for rock on. Pinky and pointer finger extend upward, and the other three curl as if for a fist. Here, cast in blocky, rusting iron by sculptor Nathan Mabry. Rock On feels fitting for the series. Fortunately so, as I had already published 10 videos and gathered a couple thousand views. The musician Lead Belly, who I mentioned in the episode on Woke, did not only provide the first recording of the phrase "stay woke," he provided major roots for rock and roll, plus American folk. Unbeknownst to Lead Belly, pirated versions of his music fueled the skiffle craze in Britain, the music trend from which the great rock bands of the British invasion, such as the Beatles, would arise. The pirate, an Irish musician named Lonnie Donegan, found fame in the UK by presenting Lead Belly's songs as if they were his own. As George Harrison of the Beatles later remarked of that legacy, quote, "No Lead Belly, no Beatles," end quote. Meanwhile, recordings of Lead Belly himself directly influenced artists such as Pete Seeger, Joan Baez, and Harry Belafonte. Lead Belly remains popular. The musicians of Nirvana considered him their favorite artist. A posthumous anthology of Lead Belly's music won a Grammy in 2015. Lead Belly's life story helps illustrate the larger story of racism. Discrimination against a person based on race has no scientific validity. We humans are all thoroughly human in our capacities for creativity, care, and wit. In the genetic sense, we are remarkably homogeneous. We're very similar. Due to periods of small populations in our past, called bottlenecks, we are significantly less genetically diverse as a species than any of our fellow primates. The idea of distinct biological races is a fiction. The harms committed under its assumptions are not a fiction, and this is what the term anti-racism means. Much work remains to repair from the centuries of violence and exploitation committed during the fiction of racial difference. Amid everything, culture, not race, does make a meaningful difference. It is a difference we should treasure together. We are not that genetically different from chimpanzees or bonobos, yet the small genetic gap between us and our relatives made space for a big shift, cultural evolution. We humans developed symbolic language, tool use, complex social relationships, and reflective consciousness thought. Humans adapted to nearly every habitat on Earth, not by changing so much biologically, but by changing how we live. We passed on knowledge, told stories, made art. We tested out millions of ways to be human. This cultural diversity is one of our greatest assets. It makes us more resilient, more creative, more able to solve shared problems. When cultures are suppressed, when languages are lost, when traditions are erased, we all lose. The fiction of race impoverishes not only those who it targets for violence, but the entire human family. Lead Belly and his complex, painful flourishing of music gives us a sense of racism and culture. So, I say to you now, stay woke and rock on. Thank you.
Nature sounds and photographs sourced from the Creative Commons and public domain. Please refer to show notes or mariel.systems/tohercountrymen for attributions. Finally, please like, share, and subscribe to support the series. Thank you.